Hey guys, it's Daniel. This would be my first TikTok video, so I'm gonna just kind of just rant on how much I hate this stupid life and what we go through in this life. I mean, I just don't understand it anymore. I enjoyed my life as a kid. When you're a kid, you don't know how bad this life is. I mean, you go to school, you play video games and you play with your friends and so forth. So when you're a kid, you just don't know how bad this life is. I mean, you turn on the TV, you hear all the bad news and stuff like that, but you honestly don't even care because when you're in that kid phase, I mean, it's just like, you don't really care. You hear all these things and you're like, well, it is what it is, and you just kind of just do your thing. You get your Saturday and Sunday off, and then you go to this stupid school Monday through Friday, and these teachers they don't teach you anything. You just do all this crap from kindergarten to you know preschool all the way to middle school to high school, and then when you graduate, you got to do these stupid jobs, and these jobs they don't pay you anything. You know, these companies don't care about you. You're just there to make them their money, and if you can't do it no more, you're always going to be replaceable. I've been working since 2006. I graduated high school 2005. I just been working job after job after job after job. Haven't been able to keep a job. Haven't been able to keep a steady job. I just rely on unemployment and food stamps for the most part, and I'm just drained, man. I hate this stupid life. You know, the sad part is I didn't choose to be here. You didn't choose to be here. Our parents put us here. We didn't sign the contract saying, "Oh, I want to be here and go through all this misery and pain and all this crap." We didn't choose it. We didn't decide it. And that's just the difficult part about life. You didn't decide or you didn't choose that you want to be here. You didn't sign any paperwork. You didn't sign any contract and say, "Yeah, I want to be here and go through all this pain and suffering and all this hell and then just die at the end and take nothing, even if you accomplish anything." You know, I don't get it. You know, I'm a critical thinker now. I'm an agnostic. I'm not really religious anymore like I used to. I don't know if God exists or if he doesn't, but if he does, I got a lot of questions for him as to what this really means. What does his life mean? What are we doing here? What are we accomplishing? Because even if you accomplish a lot of stuff in this life, you're not going to take it with you when you die. What is the point of us being here? What are we doing here? It's just work, work, work. Go to school. You struggle. You go through pain and suffering. You know, a lot of people are working 2 to 3 jobs. I mean, how can you work 2 to 3 jobs? You got to sleep. The body needs sleep. The body needs relaxation. And if you don't get that, what is the point of working two to three jobs? You know, just so the government could take a half of your check and you're making your CEO rich, the guy that actually is paying your check that you don't see at the workplace. If you've seen the show Undercover Boss, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The CEOs, they take credit for what we do. We're the ones doing the work at the job. They're just paying us our check and they don't do absolutely nothing. And then you get harassed by these managers and supervisors, these people that are not even the CEO. They don't even own the damn place. All they do is just hire you and just put you on the schedule. So what gives them the right to, belittle you and boss you around and tell you what to do? I mean, it just doesn't make no damn sense. You know? It doesn't. You go to these jobs, you get a job, you don't even know if you're going to keep it. You don't know if you're going to keep your job. You don't know whether they're going to let you go or they're going to fire you. There is no job security anymore. Maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago there was, but there's no job security anymore. There's absolutely no job security anymore. You know, the job that I was at, I mean, I was doing security at Macy's. I was there for only 7 months, and they fired me. They let me go. So there's no job security. You know, the easy thing about getting a job is getting it. The hardest part is actually keeping it. Actually keeping a job is one of the hardest things, not just in America, but in life. Because you get it, you don't know how long you're gonna stay. You can't predict. You're not psychic. So how do you know how long you're gonna stay? You just don't know. You just don't know. We're not psychic. You know? I don't know, guys. You know? You guys tell me, am I over exaggerating this, or am I nuts? I don't think I am. I just wanted to rant because I usually don't do things like this. I kind of keep to myself. I'm kind of a quiet guy. But I figured, I've been on TikTok for a few years and I've seen other people's videos. I figured, why not? Let me just give it a shot and let me just do this one. And hopefully in the future I'll do some more. Maybe I'll touch on some different topics, but I just wanted to talk about how much I hate this life. I can't stand it. You know, I'm not suicidal. I'm not saying I'm gonna, off myself or anything like that. It's just I don't see the point of this life no more. I'm 38, and like I said, I'm a critical thinker now. So I just think about this life, and I just see how pointless and stupid it is. I mean, again, you can accomplish a lot of things in this life. You can do good things in this life. I'm not saying give up and not do anything in this life, but, try and do things in this life. Try and do things that make you happy. But at the same time, I feel it's just useless because at the end, you're not going to take it with you. And we don't know what happens after we die. Whether we do have a soul and we go to heaven or hell, we don't know. Or it could be just lights out. I don't know. I'm more interested, honestly, I'm more interested in what happens to us after we die instead of living this life because I'm just bored to death of this life. It's just stupid and dumb. It's getting more and more challenging. The cost of living is going up and up and up. Rent, food, water, you know, the basic essentials that you need, they keep going up. Eggs keep going up. And nothing's being done to lower down the price of living. Nothing's being done to change this way of life. Nothing's being done to get the homeless people off the street. There's so many homeless people on the street, and the government, the city, people with money, all these stupid celebrities and all these people with billions, people like Elon Musk, they don't care about the homeless. All they care about is themselves. All they care about is their wealth and themselves. They don't care about us, the struggling people. They don't care about the homeless people out there that have probably been homeless for years. Homeless people don't become homeless because they want to be homeless. They become homeless because of how hard this life is and how challenging it is. You know, this life is not a walk in the park, man. This is a challenging, frustrating, evil, sick life. And if you don't have people to help you, and if you're not strong enough, you will be on the street. And it's sad. One minute you can be in your apartment, in your house, just chilling and paying your bills and stuff. The next, maybe a few months to a year, your landlord can kick you out and you can be on the street. I mean, it's just not fair. Life is just not fair. And I'm going to try and stick it out till as long as I can. I mean, I stuck it out to 38, which is pretty impressive, but at this point, I don't know. But I'm going to stick it out and, see what I can do to make money. And instead of just working a stupid job, I'm going to think of something. I'm going to post more videos, like I said, but this is the first video I wanted to post. And I hope you guys enjoy it and leave comments. Thank you.